Secretary Gates, Admiral Mullen, good morning. Welcome back to our committee. Thank you for your service. Our country's blessed to have leaders like you, and we thank you for all your hard work and all that you do for the men and women in uniform. We look forward to your testimony here today. The President's fiscal year 2011 defense budget requests $708 billion for discretionary and war funding. According to the Defense Department, this represents an increase of 3.4% from the previous year, or 1.8% real growth after inflation. This is clearly not the cut to the defense budget that many anticipated, and I credit you and Admiral Mullen for ensuring that this budget request provides for our military men and women and fully funds the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Mr. Secretary, for some time now, you've been pushing for balance in the Defense Department in an effort to focus the Pentagon on prevailing in today's conflicts. In your introduction to the 2011 Quadrennial Defense Review, you write that your efforts to rebalance the department in 2010 continued in the fiscal year 2011 budget and were institutionalized in this QDR and out-year budget plan. While we all commend you for your laser focus on the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, I believe your efforts to make balance a fixture in the QDR and the out-year budget is too focused on the short term and puts the department on the wrong path for the next 20 years. Choosing to win in Iraq and Afghanistan should not mean our country must choose to assume additional risk in the conventional national defense challenges of today and tomorrow. Last April, we received a glimpse of the cost of balance when you announced over $50 billion in cuts to the defense programs. This year, the impact is more subtle, but I fear more severe. In my view, the QDR understates the requirements to deter and defeat challenges from state actors, and it overestimates the capabilities of the force the department would build. This QDR does an excellent job of delineating the threat posed by those with anti-access capabilities, notably China, but does little to address the risk resulting from the gaps in funding capability and force structure. If this is really a vision for the defense program for the next 20 years, as the statute requires, then why does the QDR lay out a force structure for the next 5 years? Not to mention one that looks a lot like today's force. The QDR is supposed to shape the department for 2029, not describe the Pentagon in 2009. I look forward to hearing from you and Admiral Mullen today and Undersecretary Flournoy tomorrow about the assumptions underlying the QDR's decisions. Further, I'm anxious for the QDR's independent panel to begin its work and provide the Congress with an alternative viewpoint on how the Pentagon should posture itself for the next 20 years. Let me conclude by addressing two controversial policy initiatives that the President has raised in recent weeks: repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy and moving Gitmo detainees to the United States. With respect to Don't Ask, Don't Tell, I also look forward to you addressing the President's State of the Union call to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Before the President or special interests force a change in the policy or law, Congress deserves to see from the services concrete, in-depth evidence that readiness concerns require a change and that such a change would not degrade wartime military readiness in any measurable, significant way. Many of us on this committee have serious concerns with putting our men and women in uniform through such a divisive debate while they're fighting two wars. As far as the future of Gitmo, the administration requested a $350 million transfer fund to finance all aspects of detainee operations at the U.S. Naval Station in Guantanamo, Cuba, or the Thompson Correctional Center in Thompson, Illinois. In my view, such a flexible transfer authority reflects the overall problem with this administration's detainee policy. There is no clear policy on how we will handle the detainees held at Gitmo. Mr. Secretary, let me make my view clear. I do not support authorizing funds for a facility which will hold Gitmo detainees in the United States. Once again, thank you for being here today, and I look forward to your testimony in the question and answer session. I yield back my time.